Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. Bruh, this rain just keeps going on. Doesn't matter. We'll kick off a video today and I'll show you guys how the kike is looking, and then I want to talk about a few things as to why this par 3 hasn't happened. But let's show you guys an update on the Kikuyu, how that enhance worked last week to get rid of that burn. So we'll just quickly get the leaves off here so we can actually see a proper visual of how it's looking, but it's worked well. Anyway, let's get on this mower, let's see. I just want to test out to see if this thing works properly. Whoa, that's like ambulance, police, firefighters. Ooh, everything's all right. Anyway, let's try this out, see how this goes at picking up wet leaves. Because I've never actually tried the wet leaves. It's been really, really good at picking up the dry leaves because there's leaves dropping like bananas at the moment. Do bananas drop off trees? I think they do. Looks to me like that did a really good job, I will be honest. That looks great. I thought, in honesty, I thought it wasn't going to be that great because the leaves are wet. Because it rained, we got 50 mil over the last 2 days, I think. Got more rain coming, like, should be in about an hour's time, so that's why I'm out here shooting this video now. This is Friday, this video comes out tomorrow. Anyway, look at this. It's picked them up really, really, really well. Have a look inside this. About half full there, so it's just spat some down in there as well. Yeah, that's actually done an impressive job. Good stuff. I do find sometimes this thing, when it gets a lot of stuff going through it, it can pop off. It wasn't too bad today because it was only really collecting leaves and not cutting grass. But I also found if I put something down here, I've actually got some gloves here at the moment, to help push it forward, and it seems to not pop out as well. I mean, you could probably put like a little plastic pin or something in there and that would never pop out for you. But you can just see, oh no, it is heaps better since I put those gloves there. Bush mechanics, bro, works good. And I'll get this drone down, then I'll show you guys how the lawn's looking, but now the leaves are off, I'm actually pretty impressed. Here comes the drone, boy. Right, so as you can see, the lawn does look a lot better compared to a couple of weeks ago. So if you guys didn't see the video from last week, I did get a bit of wetting agent burn on this lawn. I have had herbicide burn on here as well, which I'll show you guys in a minute where that was if you haven't seen that as well. But the color is just so much better. This is 8 days after I applied it. Mate, you can really, really tell the difference. I mean, even comparing, if you look in the drone shots compared to the stuff outside of it, this lawn does look a lot darker green, and it is shorter as well. Normally your longer grass will hold a lot more color than your shorter grass, so it definitely goes to show that that stuff is kicked in nicely. Now, yeah, look at that, even on camera, I'm looking at on the screen over here and it looks nice, it looks really nice. But as I said, we did get herbicide burn down the bottom here. Now this is actually from some Roundup. If you guys didn't already know, when I accidentally sprayed some Roundup when I was spraying the driveways, which were chockers full of weeds, just got a bit of spray drift. And there's still still a little bit of a sook on these areas here, which is fair enough. We did it pretty late in the season. You can see that's actually died out altogether. Like you can see sand underneath that. That's completely died out, but it has come back a lot compared to what it was. You can see there's actually some color in there now. You can also see I didn't spray the weeds down in this area because I didn't want to give it any more hurt after having Roundup on it. So there's a bit of mallow there, a bit of clover as well, even a bit of plantain over here. There's a couple of things that goes to show that weed killer worked on the rest of the lawn. And the one spot that I missed, there's a couple in there. But same thing here, just a little bit of, that's where a little bit of overspray went all the way up to there. You can see it's a little bit off color there as well, all through here. That has really, really come back through all the liquids and the fert we've been using. But I mean, I knew it was going to take until next season that it really, really kicked back into gear. This spot here This spot here, I've got a feeling, this spot's always struggled even before we had problems with the Roundup or anything like that. I've got a feeling, or the wetting agent burn, I've got a feeling this tree here has got some roots in this area and it's sucking a lot of moisture out of this area just here. So I don't know, I could give this some extra aeration with a pitchfork or something every now and then to help out with that, but the soil is even just that little bit harder here as well. So it does need that little bit more aeration, probably a little bit more wetting agent. Just make sure I water in next time when I do it. But yeah, I reckon that's what that area is. Nothing to do with herbicide burn, wetting agent burn. Just got to do with the fact that that sucker there is sucking out some nutrients and moisture. But man, you can tell autumn's in full swing now. Bro, beautiful time of year out here in Orange. Like, it is called the Colour City for a reason, because we get so many different colours out here this time of year. I love it. You can see it on the drone shot too. This looks beautiful. So, am I going to be giving up on the par 3 or the projects I had planned? What have I been doing over the last 6 months? No way am I giving up on these projects, to tell you what. The only reason I'm bringing this up today is because I'm getting a ton of comments going on about how, he's just focusing on the one lawn. Where are the lawn tips? What's he's doing? What happened to the par 3? I mean, it's fair enough that you guys are asking that. But the reason that we haven't got a start, I've said this a few times, but I'll say it again, because we are waiting on the bore pump to turn up. Now, I've spoken to the guys and I've been told start of next week it's going to be finished off being put together, like just all the manifold and everything, and the I don't know what it's called, the hose that goes down into the borehole. Anyway, that's all going to happen, and then we'll be installing it as soon as it turns up, I'll tell you what. But there's just been delays with it. I've told you guys that. It has actually been really tough not being able to do anything. Like, I had all these goals to do this season. I wanted to have a green build, I wanted to have a tee built, wanted the fairways done, I wanted to be using all this construction gear, but unfortunately there's just been a hold up, and the reason for that is, like, I haven't started anything else at all. Is, as I said, it is, you know, we're waiting for that, but we have no water here. Like, we have enough water to supply us in the house, enough for me to water that Kikuyu over there. At least I'm doing some lawn tips at the moment, but yeah, it's just a bit of a bummer that we haven't been able to do anything else, but we will get there, and once we're into it, like, we're going to be into it for years. But yeah, it has been a little bit frustrating, a little bit mentally taxing not being able to do it, because I think when you're a little bit driven and you want to get things done and you can't do it, it's irritating. Like, let's be honest. Still need to sort out this dam and the leak that's going on in there. Some guys recommended this polymer stuff from these guys that have a video online. So they did a dam build. I actually saw that video. Really, really cool. My brother Josh also put some in their golf course dam, and it seemed to fix their leak as well. So need to get my hands on some of that stuff. If anyone's got any links on that, chuck it down below. I think Josh actually sent me a link too, so I should ask Josh as well. I'm in the market as well for some storage tanks. So we've got a couple of storage tanks here. They've mostly been used for the house. So we get a bit of rainfall off the shed here, which we actually do get quite a bit of rain off that. But yeah, I'm in the market for something like 100,000 litres, maybe a little bit bigger, because as I've said to you guys, the flow on the bore isn't amazing, so we need to store some water somewhere. We'll try to store some in the dam. Might try to get a license to dig that out as well, but I don't even know how expensive that's going to be. There's always budgets, as you guys can imagine. But if anyone knows or can recommend a good tank, I don't know what I want to get. I don't know if I want to get a poly tank or like one of those tin tanks with the liner in it. I really don't know what option to go for. So if any of you guys on properties have any tank recommendations, let me know. I don't really know where to start, to be honest. But I'd love something decent size, at least 100,000 litres, because we're going to be watering. The goal would be to water at least half an acre a night, if we can, with the bore water, just so that, you know, and the main focus is going to be the bent grass green and the tees and stuff like that. But we want to try and keep everything irrigated so I can show you guys lots and lots of stuff down the line. So now we're down at the bore hole, not the bore pump, where the bore pump is going to go. I haven't been in there for a bit since the other week. Oh, she dropped a little bit lower too. That's all right. So if you guys didn't know, we sunk this back in October sometime. The plan was to get the pumping down then and then start constructing stuff, but delays. So here's the trench, we're nearly done. I had the excavator down here a couple of days ago, pulling out all these rocks, bro. Look at this, this is like a rock pit. Like, it is getting ridiculous. Look at this, man. At least I'll be able to use them for some sort of, maybe feature around the dam or something. Yeah, I got a little bit too deep there. I found some big chunky rocks, which I just shifted to the side, but mate, an absolute rock pit. This is how close we are to finishing, like a couple of meters. So once this rain disappears, I'll come down and finish it off with the excavator because it's just too rocky for the trench digger. But yeah, this will get done very soon. Electrical stuff is all here, so we're about to start laying that. I just need to finish this, so as soon as the rain holds off, which should be next week, hopefully we'll have electrical in ready just to drop the bore pump as quickly as we can. Now, if you guys didn't know, we sunk this down to about 63, 64 meters. You can go check the old video, I can't remember the exact number. And it cost me about 16 and a half grand, I think. So they're not cheap, I tell you what. They are not cheap at all. I was kind of glad it didn't go any deeper than that, otherwise it would have cost me a lot more money. And by the way, I didn't get any freebies out of that. That was all out of my own pocket. There was no sponsors or anything for shooting a video for those guys, so yeah. Anyway, that's the gist of that. Once this is done, we're going to start doing irrigation and kicking into everything. And then the par 3 starts. So if you guys didn't know, I'll actually flick up a picture of the par 3 design on the screen. Mate, so excited to get stuck into that. It is going to look mint, absolutely mint. It's going to take us time. It's not like it's going to all be done within one season, but that's the fun of it. So you can see here's the electrical stuff here. We've got a conduit, our Schnitti. What are you doing? There's a little cat, wild cat? Savage cat, what do they call them? Wild? I don't know, anyway, there's a cat that's down under this deck here. So every time this bloke comes in here, he tries to get it. Get him. He'll keep trying. Schnitti, quiet please, I'm trying to talk on camera, bro. He listened. So yeah, here's obviously our conduit, our cable just here, and then the bibs and bobs we've got as well. I've still got some tape to lay on top of the pipe so we know where it all is if someone came and dig it up again. I think for all that, for about 160 meters, that's from the corner of the house all the way down to the bore, we've measured it, 165 meters or something I think it is, around that sort of region, or maybe it's a bit less, anyway, it's around 160, that's what we went for. I think it's about 2.5 grand for all this stuff. So I mean, sinking a bore, doing electrical for it, and then the bore pump as well, it does cost a lot of money when you're trying to get it all running, but it's going to be worth it. I was going to say, we were looking at doing a solar option, but because we've got such low flow, because some guys have asked why we're not doing solar, since we have got such low flow, and I want to be running it pretty much through summer, I'll be running it all the time just to fill the tank back up. That's why we ran electrical, just because otherwise I'd have to get a battery for the solar pump, and then, you know, it could fail, it could have issues if we've got overcast days. It's not really going to work that well either. So I want to be running it all the time. It's going to be a little bit more reliable like that. And we've also got solar panels on the roof of the house, so it sort of evens out. And the pump doesn't draw too much power because it's such low flow as well, so we should be okay. Well, thanks guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys that support me as well and have stuck around even though we haven't got into the projects yet. Yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking along, supporting me, buying the product from my website, because that really helps me and my business and allows me to do this. And watching the videos too supports me as well. But thanks guys for watching. Appreciate yous. Next week we'll be digging some more trenches if the rain stops and getting stuck into more, and I'm really excited for it and I hope you guys are too. Anyway, I'll see you soon.